All right, everybody, gird your loins because we got B1.
That's a bingo.
You just say bingo. Yeah, welcome back to the Almost Sideshow, everybody. My name is Adam. That is Terry, and we are calling Saul on this latest edition of the Sideshow. We are breaking down. Wow, it's just habit now, even though we're out of the Breaking Bad.
You can still say we're breaking it down because that's what we're doing. We're just breaking down.
Better Call Saul.
Yeah, instead of the other one. We don't speak of that one anymore.
Down a Breaking Bad.
Yep. That one we don't do anymore. No, we don't do that one anymore. No.
But this is Bingo. This is episode 7 of season 1 called Bingo, which debuted March 16th, 2015.
Not gonna lie, first thing I thought of when I saw the title, that's a bingo. First thing I thought of Christoph Waltz and Glorious Bastards.
Also, it was Django. Anyway, that's
it wasn't. It wasn't Django. It was Bastards.
Correct. I was just kidding. Yes.
This recently I've got to double check your detective work there. So.
That tracks. Anyway, what's the synopsis of this thing? let's dive into it.
Let's dive in. Like this is a fun episode. Let's talk about what's going on here. So here we go. Synopsis. Better Call Saul, season 1, episode 7 is entitled Bingo. Back to everyone's favorite lawyer for this episode as we follow around a very busy James M. McGill. First, he's helping finish his work with Mike and the Philadelphia detectives, making sure they get back their notepad without any charges getting filed. Mike has a private conversation with the older detective, with whom he has a previous friendly relationship, or so it seems, before thanking Jimmy and parting ways. Next, Jimmy is delivering food to Chuck, who is actively trying to acclimate himself to the electric fields he is so allergic to. 1 second at a time, but progress nonetheless. Jimmy leaves him a little work to peruse through, since he just has to store his files at Chuck's house.
Yeah, convenient.
Jimmy then takes Kim to visit his new office he's trying to buy. It looks great, but it would look even better if Kim was his associate in the corner office. Unfortunately, I know. Unfortunately, that can't happen right now. And Jimmy's kind of sad. Next, Jimmy is back to schmoozing the old people and running bingo at the retirement home. While there, he gets a call from the Kettlemans. They want to hire Jimmy now. They just fired Kim and HHM because Kim tried to tell them the hard truth that their best case is to take a deal. Otherwise, it's 30 years in prison. The deal would be 16 months. The Kettlemans, mainly Betsy, say no and instead ask Jimmy to get them off. Jimmy says he's too busy and knows they're guilty and won't get a better deal than what Kim had already negotiated. They essentially blackmail him, since the Kettlemans gave him a retainer in the tent. So Jimmy takes care of it by calling in his favor to Mike. Mike breaks into the Kettleman house and takes all the money. Jimmy adds his money to it, essentially burning through all of his gains so that the cash would be complete. He sends it to the police and convinces the Kettlemans to hire back Kim and take the deal. Finally, they listen to logic and agree. Kim is saved, Jimmy is broke, and he is forced to say goodbye to his fancy new office. But not before letting off a little steam in what would have been his office.
Yes, this is a really this is a fun episode. So I've been watching this one this show by myself, but this last episode, my wife came in and started sitting down, and then our daughter came in and started asking a bunch of questions. Like, no, it's not that show. You don't ask questions. You get to sit here. We'll answer the questions after. I'm paying attention. But yeah, this was a very investing episode here. A lot of fun parts going on. a lot of workings for what future could happen. Like I can like what's going on with this case. Like that's what we're leading to now. The whole thing with the Kettlemans there. I do feel bad for Saul. A sad Jimmy is a sad Jimmy. That's sad to see him so sad, but it's fun to see him work with Mike there. I like the addition of the office. I'm like, man, what my wife asked a great question actually. She gets full credit for this. If he got that office, do you think he would be legit?
Yes.
Like he would be completely different, but just the
Yes.
yeah. It's an interesting butterfly effect moment to think about. Like this show can be completely different if he got that office and had Kim working, and he took the maybe not even take the Kettleman's thing, but just be able to do what he was supposed to do, his grand plan. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer to think about the possibilities of what could happen to Saul, but we don't know exactly what everything that does happen to Saul. We have a good idea with Breaking Bad, but
We know where he ends up.
we know where he ends up, but how does he get there? And it would have
Yeah.
been completely different trajectory if he would have got this office, though. But overall, really good episode. Do not like Karen, Betsy, but it's good to see, Bob. Bob. What's that guy's name? What's Andy Griffith? What's he's dressed up as again? Matlock. See the different Matlock. It's Kathy Bates. No, I'm just joking. Bob Matlock Barker at the playing bingo. He's definitely Bob Barker with that
Oh, with the long microphone and everything.
long microphone, yeah. And that's what a great like tool. His bingo cards with his face on it. That's pretty funny. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I like that. He has to brand everything there, and it's working. I mean, he spent all the money that he had gotten from the Kettlemans, invested it, and now he'd gotten enough back that he could make their money whole again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's impressive. But at the same time, now he's back to square one again. So that was kind of the bummer of the whole thing. I think we could probably say the Kettleman storyline, at least for now, is has run its course in this episode. And what a crazy storyline it was. Like episode 1, I did not think we would be sitting here episode 7 still talking about this random big fish he was trying to land and the skateboarders that he was trying to use to con them.
I don't. Go ahead. So I'll let you finish your thought before I.
Yeah, I just didn't see that necessarily being the result of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of see a world. I guess this is maybe jumping ahead, but see a world where they actually Saul or Jimmy gets in trouble for the Kettleman thing with the money.
I don't think so. He put it all back. There's now no paper trail of it.
I thought he took 30,000 though,
and he put 30,000 back. That was the whole point.
I thought he put 10,000 and some change back.
Well, or as much as he had. My guess is he wouldn't have put anything back unless he had enough to put back to make it whole. Because that's what he had. Because, like Kim said, there was the full paper trail of exactly how much money was in that duffel bag.
I don't think there was. He didn't put all the back because what he had left in the shoebox was 10,000 and like half a stack in there because
he'd also given
the billboard,
given them the stack on the remote controlled truck.
Okay, then take that. So maybe so he's probably pretty. I think there was a little. Okay, maybe that's something we didn't see because that could be a flaw too because there's only one stack in that envelope unless he was able to pull some funds around.
So there was the stack on the truck, there was the stack he put in, and then he had the loose stack. I'm thinking he made it whole. He had to have made it whole. There would have been no point of him putting anything in unless he was making it whole. Because that's the whole thing. He completed the circle. He closed that loop, and he convinced Betsy that nothing could ever come of that because if anything did, it would implicate her. in what happened, and then the kids have no. The
I
kids
guess
have
that would
no
be a pretty
no parent.
glaring flaw if it was like that would be pretty obvious. Like, oh, he only had one stack. He didn't actually have everything. So maybe there was something missed there, but I don't know. I
All right,
swore
we're
I
already
could
kind of digging in.
anyway.
We're already
Yeah,
kind of
we're
digging
too
into
far.
scenes and potential problems, which is fine. Let's just go for it. Because I think the best scene is kind of around what we're talking about,
Yeah,
and
this is true.
that's Mike's scene of
Mhm.
breaking in and doing his thing and putting the stuff, spraying the stuff on the bills so he could follow the black light to where the money is hidden. Like, that was pretty ingenious there. That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
pretty cool.
And
The
was
music was
perfect.
great too. The music was
Yep.
great.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that was pretty awesome, just knowing exactly what was going to happen and put it all together. So I loved that scene. Mike getting to be Mike really for the first time.
Well, I was like hoping they would like. I'm pretty sure that's the Albuquerque Chihuahuas or whatever he's listening to on the radio. Whatever
Isn't
that
it the Albuquerque Isotopes?
that's it. The Chihuahuas are a different team, but the Albuquerque Isotopes. Yeah, he's definitely listening to the minor league baseball game on
Or
his
was he listening to
college.
like UNM
Mm,
Lobos baseball?
that could be interesting too. Yeah, that was I
Mm.
was like just waiting for them to say like a player's name, but they never actually got there. But it's that was fun. Like, he's a big baseball fan. Baseball's starting up pretty soon here, like after spring training wraps up. So that's pretty awesome.
What would have been the MLB team for Albuquerque? I mean, maybe the
Albuquerque, yeah.
Diamondbacks.
Mm. Well, yeah,
I,
if it took place before '98, yeah.
well, this is
Arizona.
what is this 01? This is 01, I
So
think, right?
one, yeah. So that would have that's the year that the Diamondbacks went to the World Series.
Yeah.
So if they had a professional team, it would probably be like something lame, like Albuquerque Cacti or something like that. It would, I
Well,
don't know.
no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
What's the team?
who would Albuquerque be the market for? The
Oh, yeah, it's the
Diamondbacks
Diamondbacks. Okay, that's what you're saying.
or
Okay, I got you.
yeah. I would say like it could be easily be the Diamondbacks, the
Or the Rangers.
Rockies, or the Rangers. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's the three. That's
Because
the
it's kind of in between all those. I would say probably the Diamondbacks.
mhm,
So if he was listening to a big league game, he was listening to the
Diamondback.
Diamondbacks.
It's probably like listening to like Johnson pitch or something like that, or Schilling. It'd be pretty.
Yeah, but see,
pretty
we would have. You'd think we might have heard. I don't know. Or is he
well,
listening to the Phillies? But the Phillies wouldn't have been on local radio.
yeah, that's not local radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
he was listening to baseball though, and that made me happy.
Yeah. How many apples did he eat? That's what I couldn't. His apple eating was really frustrating to me. There's a lot of good apple left on that core, man. Like you didn't even eat them all the way through.
True.
You had 5 apples on that thing stacked, and you didn't eat all the way through, man.
He also had a plentiful supply.
I knew that gate was going to come back to haunt the Kettlemans, dude. I right when I saw the gate, I was like, I said that earlier in the show. I was like, the gate's going to come in. That gate's a horrible design. Way back in the corner. It's very convenient for Mike to go through there.
It was very convenient, but it was also convenient for the Kettlemans. So,
well, because we were like, no, it's probably locked. It's probably locked. It's probably not accessible. Well, that got disproven.
Yeah. What was your best scene?
My best scene is the counteract of what Saul goes to the Kettleman's house and it's like, yeah, so you better go check that big supply of money, and just her freaking out like, no, and just like running up
under the sink.
Yeah, under the sink. No, and just running up, and then both freaking out. And he's just like sitting on the mantle. It's like rubbing his head. It's like, oh, this is ridiculous. Why am I doing the things I'm doing? I hate myself, but at the same time, it's the right thing to do. I like that scene a lot. It was just It's fun. I think that was that actress who plays Betsy. Well, I can't stand that character because it's like, I know, just like there is no money. I told you we're not taking a deal, but that's clearly like the only option you have. She was
the only option.
It's only she's fantastic in this episode, especially in that last scene that you see her at. Well, not the elevator scene, but the scene at the house.
Yeah. Looks like she's in 4 episodes of Fargo, which I've yet to see. She was in 2 episodes of the Star Wars Skeleton Crew show.
Yep, never seen it.
Yeah. Anyways, I was just checking out what else she had been in. She was in 10 episodes of Bosch. I never watched Bosch. Anyways.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Speaking of Betsy, douchebag award.
Yeah,
it's got to be her, right?
The Betsy Kettleman douchebag award.
The Betsy Kettleman douchebag award. I'm good with that. The Betsy Kettleman. We finally found the name.
Yeah, because it was Howard Hamlin was in the running here for the while. The Kettleman, Howard Hamlin, but I like that.
I don't necessarily think he's a douchebag. He's just anti Jimmy McGill.
Yeah, that is true. Anti-billboard with his likeness on it.
Yeah. But Betsy is definitely like poor Craig Kettleman. He's just kind of being pulled along. Like, oh, that sounds like a good deal. Oh, no. We can possibly. No, I guess she says this is not happening.
We got to do it for the kids, the children. We got to do it for the children.
No money. So.
Yeah, the Betsy Kettleman douchebag award. I like it.
The Betsy Kettleman douchebag award. There we go. All right, Stickman award.
Oh, hold on. I got Oscar the cat. Yeah. Oscar the cat is my douchebag.
Oscar the cat. Who is Oscar the cat?
Arlene, who wins the bingo. She starts talking about her
Irene.
Cat. Irene. She's like, I got 2 cats. I love cats. Felix the cat. Felix and Oscar, but Oscar doesn't clean himself. Felix,
well, you got cats on your notebook. You just won.
Yeah.
Go
Oscar
take it to her.
Oscar the cat.
Maybe we say let's say Oscar the cat's the stick man too, because there's a douchebag and a stick man. I mean, there's got to be a decent amount of cats in the old folks' home.
There's got to be.
But Felix, either that or Irene could be the stick man, because with winnings like that, you know she's gonna be popular that night.
Yes. Ooh, that's a nice no bag. Oh, college ruled. Nice.
I won the bingo.
You're
about to win another one.
You're about to win another one. The guy next to him. Anyway.
Well, you're gonna win this one too.
Yeah. That's a good one. All right. I like it.
Have you heard of Bingo Bango? That's so dumb. All right. Best new face. I don't think there was one.
No, I do have one though.
Okay.
I have the office guard who gives him the keys.
Lobby guard, yeah.
The lobby guard. And his name is Dan Mosley. And
he's actually been in some stuff.
He's been in some stuff. His bio on IMDb, if you want to read it, it's pretty interesting. It's like the most interesting bio ever.
An actor who has paid his dues. Someone really did some work on this if they start it with that.
Yeah, exactly.
He took a hiatus to raise 4 kids and is ready to forge ahead with his dream. He was raised in Albuquerque. Like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Moved to LA in the early 80s to pursue his dream and has never given up. Not a newbie with stars in his eyes. He has more than paid his dues. You can't use the same line more than once, and understands what he is up against. Live your dream until they die. Until you die. Live your dream until you die. Not till the dream dies, but till you physically die. And never give up. As Kurt Russell would say in Miracle. Isn't that the line? Never give up. But pay your dues, in case you didn't catch that part. What kind of bio? That's not a bio.
I know. That's
what in the world?
I clicked
He's
it. I was
born
like,
and raised in Albuquerque and is currently on hiatus to raise his family. That's all it needed to be. That's all
yeah.
the pertinent information there is in there.
His last thing was this role as
It
lobby guy.
was. And I bet he agreed to do this because they were filming in Albuquerque and he was back home raising his family. But even then, like he has 7 credits on IMDb.
He's paid his dues.
He's paid his dues. Well, I mean, the first credits, he was on an episode of 2 different TV shows in 1990. And then, or maybe that's when the hiatus came, because then he didn't do anything until 2006. Oh, he was on 2 episodes of a show called Wildfire. First he played driver, then he played delivery man.
Ooh, he got promoted.
Mm-hmm. He was in The Spy Next Door.
The Jackie Chan movie.
Jackie Chan. He played tourist.
Yeah, saw that one.
Yeah, but those
he's my
some,
he's my new new
those
face.
are some dues that have been paid. He's got his demo reel posted on his IMDb page. Like that's all he's got. He's got 2 different demo reels. Wow, impressive. Yeah, Dan Mosley, MVP. Dan Mosley. That's wow. Minor character of the episode.
Felix the cat. Irene. Yeah, Irene is my minor character, who's also the new face, played by Jean Efron. She's been in a couple things too. I don't have it pulled up, but yeah, she's an energetic young lady. Look at that energetic young lady. He didn't say energetic, but yeah, she's a good call for minor character.
She's in a movie that like just came out, that Opus movie with Io Debris.
Yeah. Interesting.
Like just came out like last weekend. She's in it.
Yeah. She's the what's that lady who was in Trap, the Pinot nominated winner?
Oh, Haley Mills.
Yeah, she's gonna be the Haley Mills. I didn't know you were still alive award.
I was looking her up to see, okay, is she still kicking it? Apparently she is.
Yeah.
All right. So,
oh yeah.
My minor character, I'm going with Detective Sanders, played by Barry Shabaka Henley. Last week I made fun of his accent that he was donning in the one line he had, but then he actually
jet-lagged, man.
A little bit. Yeah, it must have been jet lagged. He gets a little bit more to do in this one, and you hear him actually settle in, and he can actually sit and have an equals conversation with Mike. There's not many people that can sit and have a conversation with Mike as an equal. And he can talk to Mike, and Mike can be completely honest with him, and he knows it won't go anywhere, even though he's investigating him for murder.
Yeah.
Which is pretty great. And I love the fresh blood. I kind of like him, even though he's out to like destroy him. It's good. It's good.
That's a good one. I like that. Yeah, that was a great scene too. That could have been mentioned as one of our best scenes too. I like that. Yeah. The whole intro.
I'm not letting you talk to my client without my presence. Yes, you are.
Yeah. Thanks. It means three's a crowd.
You can go now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I also want to give a shout out to the lady who was like randomly helping Jimmy at the bingo thing. She was just it's a notebook. Like she was holding the notebook up there. She's on the IMDb page too, but I don't know.
Bingo employee played by Kathleen Swenson.
I didn't know bingo could employ people.
Go take it to her and then come back. I need you to run it. Yeah. Well, I forget what he said. I gotta go uphold justice or something like that.
Yeah. I got people with legal troubles.
Yeah.
Elder law.
Great. Best quote. Saul one-liner.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me get the spectacles on. Yeah, I got to the state of Pennsylvania can expedite for return of a lost property. That's one bold legislator.
That was pretty good. He had a lot of good ones in that opening scene.
Yeah, that's a great line.
Yeah.
The
That
dementia is
was a good one.
contagious. The dementia is contagious.
Dementia's contagious.
It's like 405. He's like, you mean 504 or not? No, it's 413. I think he said 513.
Oh yeah, 513. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, elder law. The dementia is contagious.
I like the one that I have as my
that's
my
the other
banner.
one I have. Yeah.
Imagine 25th Hour starring Ned Flanders. He says the wife's name too, but I forget what the wife's name is.
Maud.
Ned and Maud Flanders.
Still probably be a 4-star movie for Zach.
Probably. And then
one.
there was the other one where that he's talking to the Kettlemans and he's like, let's just come down from Cuckoo Land for a second here. We all know there's money.
Yeah. We all know there's money. There's no money.
But there is no money.
There is no spoon.
Or we sent Kim to the West End. Oh, you sent her to the cornfields? Like, I've never heard it called that. Isn't that what you call it?
That's what it's called.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I
like it. That scene's underrated too, because when they're like they're walking, Jimmy and Howard's walking Jimmy to Kim's her old office.
Yeah.
Everybody stops and looks. They're like, "Holy cow, that's the competitor right there." They all know who Jimmy is because they all
competitor,
stop.
But also they all know him as Chuck's brother too.
That is true, but then also they stop because they know that the Kettlemans, like this big client, went to them. So it's like they all stop in there, what they do, and they all like kind of stand up from their like little cubicles and stuff like that too. So I don't know. I thought that was a kind of cool because also maybe where's Howard going? Where's Howard going? Like, why is the guy with Howard? I think that's also kind of a how it was filmed was kind of cool. I don't know. But also to realize that office is like in the middle of like the back corner, she has to go through all that to get to her office. That kind of sucks.
I'd love the if there was an almost famous shout out in here, and Jimmy just starts calling Howard the enemy. Hey, the enemy. Hey, the enemy. We'll get the interview in I forget what town, Cleveland.
That would be a pretty obscure reference. I think we would all understand it, but
we would understand it.
Yeah.
Jimmy, well, that movie would have been like a year old at that point, so it feels a little too contemporary for Jimmy's references.
This is true.
Yeah. All right. Best Breaking Bad reference.
All right. You go first.
Mike showing off his particular set of skills. That's the best Breaking Bad reference. Like just Mike being Mike, and seeing what he's capable of. That's the best one.
It's a good one. So the beginning of the episodes where I have mine. Okay, so they have all those mug shots on the wall, right? And I'm pretty sure. Now it could be. We have to think of this. This is a lot younger than Breaking Bad, so it's going to be. She's going to look a lot younger. Did we see Wendy up on the top, one of the top on the top row?
Okay, so my wife said that she hoped to see Wendy, but we couldn't find her.
I think she like it could be like because she's a lot younger, like when she first became, got addicted to the drugs. Like there's a that's why it's like there's a possibility of a Wendy sighting. That would be pretty cool. Like I was kind of hoping too, but she's probably not on there. But that's where my head went. There's like a lady in the middle and one on the top corner, like sitting right above Saul. That kind of looked very similar to her. I don't necessarily think it was, but it's pretty cool to think about it.
I was looking for a face we'd recognize on there too. I couldn't find one. I didn't see any Easter eggs. That doesn't mean that they weren't there.
Yeah.
But yes, after we saw the wall, my wife, her first reaction was, wouldn't it be cool if Wendy was up there? And it's funny that both of you say the same one. Both of you say Wendy. If Wendy was up there, I was trying to think who else could have been up there.
Yeah, that's true. Who else could have been up there?
This like what are we 7 years before?
The guy that loves getting arrested and going to jail, but he could have possibly went to. He probably could have been in prison at that time. Kilkenny, yeah.
Yeah.
Kelly, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He could have been up there. But if he was on the most wanted list, he couldn't have passed as Heisenberg either. So
That's a good point. But he probably was also in prison too. So, which is a
probably.
Man, I those two of the people look similar, but yeah, Wendy would have been a good shout.
That would have been good. I was thinking maybe Spooge and his woman.
Oh, Spooge would have been good.
Like
hey,
that would have been
Vicky.
those have been good ones to have on there, but they wouldn't have been like most wanted. They were just druggies.
Yeah,
but they did rob an ATM. Any other problems or outdatedness that you saw that we haven't mentioned yet?
Not really. Like this is like it's hard. Oh, I think that we should get rid of this honestly, unless there's like a glaring thing. But the only thing the flaw, like it's still not 100% clear to me about the money because he clearly pulls down that shoebox down, and there's a $10,000 dollar stack in there, and there was some extra change in it. And then it cuts to Mike putting it on the bike. So my thing is he's taking that 10,000 that's in the shoebox and putting it on the remote control car. And then the next scene, you see him putting another stack and then some extra money there. So it's like, where did that other stack come from? Because that was not in the shoebox. So that's where I was like, that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know if that's a pretty continuity error there for me. But at the same time, what you're saying too, he could have had brought that from his clientele, could have got that back out and put that in as well. But I think it just could be a little bit of a miscue there. But at the same time, it's not out of the realm of possibility where he could have pulled out his own savings or whatever and put it in there too, because he would have had some clientele at that point with elder law. So
it had to be the 30,000. That's the only way that made any sense.
Because he had that billboard. Because I'm assuming some of that money went to the billboard, some went to his makeover and his suit. That's where I think some of that.
But he's made a decent amount since, like with there's
got to be a couple. There's
Mountain Boy or whatever it was.
Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. So yeah, he probably puts it, but it just. They showed something and then they showed something else and didn't. That's the only thing would push on possibly a flaw, but at the same time, it may not be a flaw. Who knows?
Yeah.
So
okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, we can drop those and then only mention it if there's something glaring that we notice that we want to bring up.
Because I think that it is fun to make those like references and calls, but this show is just too damn good to even Breaking Bad. We picked up some stuff, but like the best flaw we've ever found was, where the hell is that room in the house? Yeah, that was the best one.
And that we weren't the only ones that had been looking at that and trying to figure it out. That was the best part of that too.
That was cool. Yeah.
All right, anyway. Midlife crisis moment.
All right, I like mine this time. Okay, why do I have Viagra on here again? Anyway, okay, no, I got it. Okay. A reaction to big gulps. I just had a big gulp. I got to use the can. I did use the restroom. But I love my wife really found this like a good moment too. But at the very end of the episode, he is completely like beating himself up. Like he just lost this office. But you got to turn on that charm, even when life is kicking you in the nuts.
Offices of James M. McGill. How may I direct your call?
Yeah. And then because Evelyn saw that, she's like, "What? Why did he? What? Why?" And he's like, "That's how it is. Like, you could be completely having a completely crap day, but you have to turn on that charm so people don't think you're having that off day." And while it happens all the time, sometimes you have a bad day at work, or somebody really annoys the crap at you. You gotta not let it show. You gotta kind of let it roll off your shoulder, even though you're inside, you're beating the crap out of them in your head. You're like really frustrated or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's one that I had thought. And then also can-do attitude. They said that's some can-do attitude. I'm like, that's a core value. Great.
That's a good one. Mine, I have sometimes the plans take more time. My 2-year plan just became a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
That I feel like there's always those setbacks like, oh, if everything works out perfect, this is how it works. And it didn't work out perfect, and it rarely does.
It
So
really does, yeah.
yeah.
I think also it's funny too. It's funny too that both main characters right now, Kim and Jimmy, both had 2-year plans, and now they have 10-year plans.
That's
Because
true.
that office was probably closer than 2 years, but now it's a little further out now. The
Well,
plans
but
are
Kim is
rolling.
back on her 2-year plan because of what Jimmy did.
Jimmy did, yeah. This is true.
So he sacrificed his future for hers.
Which tells you that he's not a complete douchebag, which is cool.
It's true. LVP of the episode.
Yeah, Betsy Kettleman, like carrying herself the douchebag award, but it's also an MVP moment because we found the name for the award.
True.
But yeah, her like basically not like clearly like, no, we're not taking a deal. We're not gonna have our name tarnished anymore. And like, lady, this is the best option you got. Like, even the guy who like is used to like spinning the truth, justifying his spun truth, is not willing to do that either. So
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
My LVP is whatever artist designed Jimmy's face for the bingo boards, because that didn't look at all like him. The only reason you knew it was him is because it said McGill at the bottom.
yeah, it says Nita Will.
Yeah, that it did not look like him at all.
I think
so
it was
whoever designed that.
I think it was a caricature.
Caricature.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
One of those artists, where it's like a That's the only thing I could think of. But yeah, that was
it was not good. It was not good.
representation.
MVP of the episode.
This is it's a tough one. I think overall, sacrificing what you want for somebody else, I think that's a pretty pretty solid thing. So I would have to give the MVP to Saul or Jimmy. Sorry, Jimmy in this episode, because at the end of the day, like, he doesn't want to do what he's doing, but it is the right thing to do. He does have a conscience, which is good. It makes him a really like such an interesting character, because like you want him to be this crazy like crazy guy wanting to be the bad guy's lawyer, and how does he get to that, and how does he get from now to Breaking Bad? That's what we're slowly seeing, but seeing him also have kind of a heart and want to do right and kind of make a name for himself. And this, he knows, he's like, I can't spin this in a way to make myself look good, but I got to at least make one of my friends look good. So Kim, yeah, I think that's pretty solid. So Jimmy, my MVP.
Yeah, that's a good one. Mine is a lot shallower than that. My MVP is the Kellerman's apple tree, because that thing was
Fruitful.
booming. It was quite fruitful if Mike was able to get that many snacks off of it.
No
Also,
worms
how
either.
long was he waiting there? And how long was the baseball game? Like, how many apples per baseball game does Mike normally eat?
Per inning, yeah.
Yeah, like that's a decent amount there.
Yeah, well, what's the well, I guess we should have researched this. What's the average length of a baseball game in 2001? That's yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah, now we're talking.
Now we're talking.
Pre-pitch clock.
Pre-pitch, yeah.
But yeah, the game was still going. That's all we know. So he's out there for a couple hours, probably.
Definitely a couple hours.
All right, what's happening next?
So this, until they show, like, until they completely close the book on the Kettlemans, there's still a part of me that is going to be caught up on the money situation that I've spoke ad nauseum already. I think there is a where that he somehow gets in trouble for the bribe, and gets in trouble and sees jail time. Part of that is because I've also the freaking Netflix clip, and if you hover over the Netflix icon on the thing, it shows that he's clearly on trial for something. There's a little, like, a half a second clip they show. So that's part of it. And I'm assuming this is going to be a good spot to put it right there. So I have no idea what's coming. And it's, yeah, I don't know if
is he on trial in that clip, or is he representing someone on trial?
He gets represented by Kim. Kim comes in the little clip, and he's actually he was in prison.
Okay. So, well, we got to figure that out then.
But I don't know where that falls. And but again, there's nothing. He's still going by Jimmy, so it's not like where he changed his name or anything.
Yeah.
So, but again, I don't know where that falls, where that clip, and that's why I was like, now I don't, because sometimes I don't. When I did on the Breaking Bad, they would like also sometimes once in a while like throw a different clip up there when you go through and you hover on an icon on Netflix. They show a trailer, so I try to get there and click it really quick now. But that's kind of where I'm at. Like it just now I'm like when I saw that with the money situation and I saw that clip a while ago, I was like, I can't get that out of my head now. So that's until it gets completely like closed book on the Kettlemans. I think they show it back up at least one more time.
Okay.
Before this end of this season, at least they won't be shown anywhere any other season. I would guess.
Yeah. Well, we got 3 more episodes of this season.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think some in the next 3 episodes has to happen with Nacho. Like
Definitely.
he has to pop back up in some capacity. I mean, he's in the opening credits, even though he's only been in a couple episodes. Like he's gonna be a major player in this.
Yeah.
It's just when is he gonna pop back up and in what capacity? And does he bring Tuco along for the ride? Because if Tuco's along,
tight, yeah.
It's gonna be tight, yeah. So
it's definitely 2001 because no one's saying tight in a good way. This is so tight, yo.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be. I think it'll be interesting to see when he comes back up, how he comes back up, and what happens with all that. Because it feels like, I mean, not a ton's happening. Like it's not like it's like the intensity of Breaking Bad. It's just kind of this slow meandering.
Yeah.
Let's follow Jimmy in where he goes, and not much, at least right now, is carrying over from episode to episode, except some of the characters. So really figuring out what's going to happen next, we don't know, because it's just wherever they decide to take it for. It almost feels more procedural at times, of just little one-offs with recurring characters instead of having the full storyline going through. I think it feels like it's still trying to feel out exactly what it's doing to the show. And so you've got this little 10 episode, let's just kind of see what we've got here exploring this character. And let's throw some characters at him to see what kind of stuff we can get him into. And then we'll kind of play it from there and latch on to what goes well.
I do think he's probably going to show up for sure in 2 episodes. He'll show up, I think. But next week episode, I thought honestly he could have had a possibility of showing up this week too, doing a very similar thing that about the Kettlemans did with the like with Mike did with the Kettlemans. But I think Mike was the logical choice to do that specific job. But I think that if he, for instance, this is where my head goes. I thought about where does Nacho fit in. If he does get in trouble somehow, how did you try to get him off by incorporating Nacho, who's also kind of smart in that kind of crime world? How do you get another criminal out of the limelight from this stuff where he took this bribe? And that you can kind of incorporate that. That's where I was trying to pin that. It's like, how do you put him back in there? So I think we definitely need to see more Nacho, Michael Mondo. So.
Yeah, I don't think Jimmy would have tried to involve him in this, because he knows Nacho's a bad guy. He wants to keep him as far away as possible.
Especially after he made that threat about like trying to steal the money before to the Kettlemans and stuff like that, and then he scared the Kettlemans off the case, because he probably would have went to the, what did Jimmy say that Mike would have went? Like, thanks for not going to the Bahamas with this or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So definitely would have gone to the Bahamas with the money if it was Nacho.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, there we go. That's the episode.
Yeah, I think we did it. I think we did it justice. We had some good conversation, some good debate there. Only one of us is going to be completely right, and one of us is going to be laughing at the other person, or at themselves. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, what do we do now?
I think we
Better Call Saul.
And then we sit and spin, you buttholes.
Butthole.